Hello, today on my desk I've got this rack mount NAS server from a Linksys. This unit just came from mail and I was trying to log into the control panel, but the unit is not responding. So I'm going to teach you how to find the IP address of basically any network attached device. That does not need to be a NAS, that can be anything that is having an IP address. If your device is capable of handling a TCP IP, there are two ways of obtaining the IP. First one is from the DHCP server, and the device is going to be assigned the IP by your server. The second one is going to have a static IP address. My first try was, of course, checking whether this device is going to get an IP address from a DHCP server. So I grabbed my Ethernet cable that is connected to this NAS enclosure. I plug it to my network and I check the DHCP tab on my router, because my router is acting as a DHCP server, but that can be a completely different machine. But for a lot of home routers, that's going to be your case. But it did not show up. So this device do not get the IP address from the DHCP server. The second thing I opened the PDF manual and I was inputting the configuration from the PDF, but that also didn't work. So there is assigned a custom static IP address. And now I'm going to show you how to find out what kind of IP address you've got set up, or basically any device. We are making assumption that I've got absolutely no idea what kind of subnet this device is, because if you know the network, you know the mask, you can just set this up, you can ping the broadcast IP address and you can check the ARP table and you are going to see your device. But I don't know the IP address that I can assign to this computer, so they will be talking and I will be able to use the broadcast IP. So I don't know that and I cannot do it. Let me prove you that. We are going to go to the network settings. We are going to go to the Ethernet, change adapter options, my Ethernet, right click, let me go on to that, right click, properties. We are going to go to the TCP IP version 4 stack, and my IP address is 192.168.1.2. That's a very standard IP address for your LAN. So for sure it's not in that subnet. If I'm going to ping the broadcast, it's not going to be responding. So the tool that we need for that operation, now we are going to run a Wireshark. I'm just going to find it, Wireshark, run as administrator. It's going to scan for our network interface. Our network interface is being called Ethernet, and I'm going to double click it to start sniffing. Let's take a look at the NAS. We do not have any activity on the Ethernet. That's because the cable is unplugged. And I'm going to stuff it right now to my computer, and the magic is going to start happening. They will negotiate the speed, and we can see some traffic. I'm going to apply a filter on top on the ARP request, and we are waiting. Now we have to wait for a moment when this device is going to broadcast his IP address. So we just have to wait. Once for a while it's going to broadcast, we will see the activity, and here you go. Our source is a Cisco. We've got the MAC address. I'm pretty sure if we flip this over, we are going to find that MAC address. And but we've got our IP address over here. This is our IP. I'm going to just copy that manually, and this will not work. I'm just going to prove you that, because we are not on the correct network, the subnet, but I will show you that. 162.54.229.203, and I'm going to hit enter, and that box is not going to respond because, as I told you at the beginning, this device is on the 192. So we are going to change that. We go to the network settings, change adapter options, Ethernet, properties, TCP/IP version 4 stack, and we are going to put the IP address very, very close to our device that we would like to connect. So this is going to be a 169.254.229.202. A very close IP address. The DNS is not important, default gateway is not important. The IP address have to be different from the one that we are going to be connecting. Okay. I'm going to hit OK, save this, and hit refresh. And we should see a admin panel. And as you can see, we just figure out what is the IP address of a completely unknown device. The trick is to go with the IP address one lower or one higher, and it's going to be pretty close in the same subnet. So this is how you figure out the IP address using the ARP request and the Wireshark. Now you can of course set up the static IP address for something yours. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you find it interesting. See you next time, and bye bye.